What's going on, everyone? So, LeBron James is expected to miss a month. I will see exactly how many games he ends up missing. Will it be first 10? Will it be more? I imagine if the Lakers are good, that will probably dictate a little bit. Just like if they're bad, that'll probably dictate a little bit. If Lakers are, 1-4 during the first 5 games, that might cause LeBron to go like, oh, okay, I need to get back so we don't get too far behind and we have another 2-10 season or something like that, right? But if the Lakers are 4-1 through the first 5 games, LeBron might go, okay, let's wait till let's see the next 5, right? And then if the Lakers are through the first 10, 8-2 or 7-3, LeBron might go, okay, let's do another 5, right? Like, kind of judge it based on how well the Lakers are playing. And then I also think it depends on, what is LeBron, like how much does LeBron value being all NBA and things like that, right? Because he's got to play at least 65 games if he wants to be all those things. So, does he care? Does he look at it as like, hey, I want to win a championship before my career's over and this could be my last year. I'm dealing with a sciatica issue. Like, who knows, right? Like, I just want to win, right? So if I got to play 30 games this year just to be fully healthy and be 100% going into the playoffs so we can win an NBA championship this year, then so be it. Whatever I got to do to win, right? Obviously, you want to get reps. You want to get and kind of build the chemistry and familiarity, right? Because there were moments last year that looked great with Luka and LeBron. There are also some moments that looked a little clunky and not super great. So you'd like to kind of work out as much as possible. Like I've talked about in the past, there's a difference between, Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James looking great. And it's like, wow, like these 3 look fantastic. And then there's these 3 no one's beaten in a 7-game series. Like if these 3 play like this come playoff time, nobody's beating the Lakers, right? There's levels to this. But to me, it really boils down to, okay, well, what's the lineup and rotation, right? I've talked and made a video about my kind of thoughts on how I think the starters should, bode without LeBron James. How is JJ Redick and everybody going to kind of approach this, right? Well, Jake Weinbach gave a projected Lakers lineup, right? Projected lineup and rotation without LeBron James. And so I wanted to kind of go over his lineup and go over the things that I agree or disagree with or, kind of, in the middle. But according to Jake Weinbach, right, the Lakers projected lineup without LeBron. Luka Doncic, okay, Austin Reeves, okay, Jared Vanderbilt, he's speaking my language, I love it, Rui Hachimura, right, again, speaking my language, and DeAndre Ayton. I agree, wholeheartedly, right? Talked about in the breakdown video of like the lineup and rotation, I think that should be the 5. I think that gives you the best balance. Rui Hachimura's shooting and his ability to just be a scorer and a bucket getter, kind of help offset some of that like lack of LeBron. Obviously, Rui's not LeBron, but he can give you, some of the scoring, some of the shooting, give you some of the things that you're looking for at that power forward spot. You better match up defensively, right? And then now you have Jared Vanderbilt, who can be that athletic, versatile defensive player, all of those things. And then Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves. And then if DeAndre Ayton buys in on the defense side of things, be very balanced. Couple things. One, this could be our starting 5 for the next few years, honestly. Seriously. Like, if Luka, Austin Reeves are supposed to be the backcourt, you add in a DeAndre Ayton. Again, Jared Vanderbilt, he could be the guy that makes the most sense in that starting unit. I've talked about it very heavily. We need the athleticism. We need the defense. Obviously, his shooting needs to improve. But I really do think, and again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I do think that Jared Vanderbilt just needs in-game reps. I've talked about this all the offseason. I think we'll get 20 games into the season. He's like shooting 25% from three-point range. We're like, nothing changes. People are losing their minds over it. And then I think you'll just, 25, 30 games in, all of a sudden it's like, man, the last 3 months, Jared Vanderbilt's been 38% from three-point range, right? And then he just will finish the year at 35% or something like that, right? Like I could see something like that happening. He's going to have some good games, going to have some bad games, but I really think it's just reps. But again, these are the guys that you're probably looking at. And I think this is good, like I've talked about, because it gives us an opportunity to see. How does Luka, Austin Reeves, and DeAndre Ayton, how do those 3 look long-term, right? Because remember, you have to make this, you're going to have to pay Austin Reeves this offseason. $35+ million. DeAndre Ayton, if he continues to play the way he's playing right now, you're going to have to pay DeAndre Ayton, right? So you're talking between those 2, you're talking maybe $60+ million combined that you're going to have to pay those 2. So to me, you need to see, are those two exactly what you want slotted alongside Luka Doncic? Or is it Austin Reeves and Ayton? Or is it Austin Reeves and, or is it Luka and Reeves, Luka and Ayton? Like, how is this working? Rui Hachimura, he's going in a contract year. Is he the guy that we're keeping long term? That, hey, in a post LeBron era, he's the guy that's slotted in at the 4 for us? Or is it like, yeah, he doesn't have the athleticism, not help it, like nothing's improved. It's the same thing. He's better as a 6th man, right? Jared Vanderbilt, right? Can he improve shooting? Like all these things, you're going to get a good sample size. You're going to get a good look at. So I agree wholeheartedly. I think that this should be the starting 5. I did talk about how maybe you could go, because you're going to go for defensive assignments anyway. You could do something where instead of Rui, you could have, a Marcus Smart. Obviously, you'd be a little smaller, but you'd be better defensively. Right? And also, Luka, he likes to get going early in the first quarter. Let Luka and Austin Reeves be aggressive to start the game. So you could go, Luka, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, and then DeAndre Ayton as your starting 5. And on offense, again, you could slot guys where you need to slot them. Jared Vanderbilt can be on the strong side. You could put Marcus Smart in that weak side corner because Jared Vanderbilt shoots best in that strong side, right? Figure that out however you want to do that. But on the defensive side, your rotation just for matchups anyway, right? Jared Vanderbilt's going to defend the best player regardless, whether it's a guard or a forward, right? So he's going to defend. Ayton's going to defend the centers. So now Marcus Smart can defend the second best player, right? Or third on many nights if it's like Jokic is the best, right? So then Marcus Smart now defends the second best player. Austin Reeves can defend the third best player. And then because you have Luka Doncic, who's 6'7", 6'8", he can defend either forward position, right? So now you have that luxury of like where you can match up for defensive purposes. I'm not saying that they have to go that route, but it's another option, right? Or you could go with Jake LaRavia if you wanted to, instead of Rui, in place of Rui. There's a lot of arguments to be made, but I think just for cohesiveness, right? To kind of have the balance that you're looking for and everything like that, I do think Luka, Reeves, Vando, Rui, and Ayton is the best approach. I think that that's the 5 that they should go with. And then Jake Weinbach listed the bench: Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, which talked about it in a Dalton Connect video. I think Dalton Connect's going to get more opportunity now than he might get all season. He needs to capitalize on it. This is make or break for Dalton Connect. Because if Connect is great, there might be an argument. Now you got to find him playing time. Maybe it's like, hey, let's get off of a Gabe Vincent because we got Marcus Smart. He could be the 1. Dalton Connect could be the 2, right? Or LaRavia could be the 2, however you want to approach it, right? Like this is make or break potentially for Dalton Connect here. So I agree, Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, and then he has Maxi Kleba and Jackson Hayes. Does Maxi Kleba even play this year? If we're being honest, Jackson Hayes for sure. So to me, the bench 5, Gabe Vincent, Marcus Smart, because I think Marcus Smart's going to defend the bigger guys. So Gabe Vincent, Marcus Smart, Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, and Jackson Hayes, I think will be the 5 we're looking at until LeBron gets back. And then when LeBron comes back, I think you put Rui to the bench. So now Rui is the primary backup for LeBron. You can still run both guys all the time when you need to or want to, right? But now you have that. Then I think Dalton Connect, if he ends up balling out, you keep him in the rotation, then maybe you kind of, again, maybe look to move off of a Gabe Vincent or something like that. But if he doesn't, right, and he doesn't snap out, then he's just going to the bench, and then there you go. And then it's just now, instead of Gabe Vincent, Marcus Smart, Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, Jackson Hayes, it's Gabe Vincent, Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, Rui Hachimura, and Jackson Hayes. And then your starters would be, Luka, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton, which, again, I think gives you the best balance. There was also reports that came out that the Lakers are deciding as far as starters go between LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and Jared Vanderbilt. And according to the report, or at least the way it was phrased, was that basically was with or without LeBron. That was just in general. Like it was like it wasn't like, oh, because LeBron's out, they're looking to, no, it seems like that's the case. So if that's true, then the plan isn't to start Rui, right? Rui's just the starter until LeBron gets back. And I think from what we've seen thus far, granted, we only saw Marcus Smart in 20 minutes of action. He was just in there getting cardio, right? Like, and it's not, I don't mean that in like a bad way. I'm fine with it, right? Just go out there, get some reps. Don't get hurt, dude. Like, it's the last thing we need. We just want you to just run up and down the court, right? Like, that's it. Nothing crazy. Don't go out there. You don't need to overexert yourself. You don't need to be Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. Just go out there so the fans can see you out there type thing. That I'd be the exact same way if I was JJ Redick. So not really worried about that. But just from what we've seen thus far for preseason, I really think it needs to be Jared Vanderbilt. I just think he covers so much ground. Jake LaRavia is probably our best two-way guy, right? But I just think you need Jared. Like, Jared Vanderbilt just covers so much ground. He's so impactful defensively. I mean, he's our best defensive player. I think you trust the process with him. I think you just have him. Every time, from the moment we got Jared Vanderbilt, our best 5-man lineups always included Jared Vanderbilt. Always. Because he's just so impactful in the hustle and the effort and the energy. Right? It's just like Darvin Ham just refused to play and start Jared Vanderbilt. Like, once he put Rui in the starting unit, it was like, I can't go back now. It's like, if you can, if it makes more sense, like, what is all the data? What does everything say? Oh, everything says that Jared Vanderbilt in the starting unit is our best 5-man unit, right? So, now you're just better offensively because you went from D'Lo to Luka. So you're just, that D'Lo, Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis were able to get you to an NBA conference finals, right? Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton should be able to get you to an NBA finals and even win you an NBA finals if you can kind of, if everything kind of be put together. But we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.